Handling the word with our hands is about doing what we have been instructed. Obedience of these instructions is the expression and validation of our faith in the one who has given them. Welcome to Word of Wisdom, a podcast that seeks to rebuild and restore the true image of God in you by drawing wisdom from the scriptures and giving practical insights for their application. I'm your host, Briant Lubanga, ready to journey with you. This is the final episode in this series of Word Interaction Levels. As discussed in the previous episodes, we first of all hear, see, look upon, and finally, we handle the word with our hands. These levels are a progression from our initial contact with the word. 1 John chapter 1 verse 1 says, "That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled, concerning the word of life." When interacting with the word, you cannot jump to handling the word with your hands without first being processed through the preceding levels. We are built up in each level so as to appreciate the next. If we skip the levels, we will end up mishandling the word. As we've seen in the previous episodes, before the Samaritans invited Jesus to stay with them, they went through the process of hearing about him from the woman. They then had an opportunity to see him while they approached him as he sat at the well. And during their conversations, they were able to look upon him more closely. In John chapter 4 verse 40, we see how they begged him to stay with them, and he honored their request by staying for 2 days. Going through the process of the preceding interaction levels is what built in them the capacity and faith to host him. Hosting Jesus was not a light thing, considering they acknowledged that he is the Messiah. This is where handling of the word with their hands got practical, as it meant ensuring that he is comfortable. They must have taken the trouble to find him a suitable place to sleep and prepare his choice foods because he was a guest of honor. This actual hosting allowed them to interact with him at a much deeper level. They observed how he operated and could meet his needs from a point of personal revelation and understanding. This experience is what we are referring to as handling the word with their hands. Handling the word with our hands is the ability to testify based on one's personal and intimate interaction. Such a testimony may not easily be expressed with words, but the kind of impact it leaves in you will in turn cause you to live and act in a manner that others can testify that indeed you have been with the word. In Mark chapter 3 verse 14, Jesus ordained the 12 that they should be with him and that he might send them forth to preach. As they walked with Jesus, they continually conformed to his image by following in his footsteps. Being with the word is the first process of handling the word with our hands. Being with the word is critical to becoming, which brings us to the place of manifesting what the word demands. In Acts chapter 4 verse 13, when the religious leaders saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled. They recognized that they had been with Jesus. The boldness exuded with Peter and John stood as a strong testimony of the impact of the word in their lives. The boldness came from an assurance not only of what they had heard, but what they had experienced during their walk with him. The book of James chapter 1 verse 22 instructs us to be doers of the word and not just hearers. Handling the word with our hands is about doing what we have been instructed. Obedience of these instructions is the expression and validation of our faith in the one who has given them. In verse 2 and 3 of 1 John chapter 1, we see that whatever was experienced concerning the word of life was declared and shown unto others, that they also may have fellowship with the Father. A genuine handling of the word will show in how we handle people and things around us. God's nature and character, which has been formed in us, will be poured out as a testament of the power of the word. As beneficiaries of the truth through experience, we are to be representatives of God's nature and intents, enforcing and establishing His will wherever we go. May the word become flesh and dwell among us.